Hey everybody, this is your man, Marzette, coming back at you on another episode of The Gifted and Insane. Hope everything is well with you. I like to jump right into it and talk about this one episode. We are naming this one The University of You. That's right, The University of You. Everybody associates universities with getting an education. So if you're going to get an education about anything or anyone, it should be the person you see in the mirror. That is an education that should never, ever come to an end. You're always growing, you're always evolving, you're a dynamic person. To aid that process, you need to make sure that you study yourself. Put yourself under your own microscope. See what you would like to improve on. Do little things every day that's going to help you out. You need to learn about yourself. We need to understand that our likes and our dislikes can and do change. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's part of growing. Because I'm pretty sure there's some things that you were all into when you were 5 years old that was probably lame when you got 12. And then when you turned 18, the 12-year-old stuff didn't matter anymore. It's all called evolving, growing. We do it all the time, but we hit a certain age where we think that that's juvenile, that should come to an end. And that's the worst thing we can do. I've learned from people, or in my experiences, learned from my sister, learned from a lot of people that I admire, that their quest to learn won't end until the end. People will like to learn about any and everything and stop learning when they can't take a breath anymore. And that's huge. That shows commitment. So we need to bring that level of commitment to ourselves. I'm, for one, am ready, willing, and able, and actively doing that right now. Learn about yourself. Learn what you like. Learn what works now and what doesn't work anymore. Just take some time and figure out where you're at in that whole process. Where you at currently. One day you just may wake up and be like, you know what? Doing A, B, and C was all the rage before, but it doesn't work for me anymore. And that's cool. That's okay. You're not wishy-washy or a flip-flopper. It doesn't show any weakness to change your mind or change how you feel about something. That's not weakness. Especially if your experiences, bringing in new information, helps you form these new likes or dislikes. We're dynamic. So just, get in the mirror, look at you. See how you've grown. Learn about yourself. While you're in this university, how about exploring self-care? How about finding out the differences between being selfish and self-care? There's tons of information about it. There's tons of people talking about it. Self-care is huge now. Self-care involves taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself, changing that inner voice to a kinder, gentler voice that nurtures you, nurtures that little kid inside that needs to be held by the hand sometimes and then taught lessons so that inner child can mature into an inner adult with strength that stands upright, tall, and proud. So just start exploring those things, exploring different activities. That'll bring a new spark into your life. Keeps you open, especially when you feel that stagnation. Trust me, I get it. I've gone through bouts of feeling stuck, feeling like there is no end in sight for whatever I was experiencing at the moment. And it's tough. That's being deep in the fog. And I always say that you could be standing on the beach, but with your mind so foggy, with that fog around you, you can't see it. And at that point, I do seek help outside. Trusted friends, coaches, therapists, whoever can help clear that fog up for me so I can realize where I'm standing, realize all the possibilities that are in front of me. When we're in the fog, we cannot see that. It's not a bad thing. It's just, well, it is a bad thing, but it's not something that you should blame yourself for. You should be pissed off at yourself about. It's something you should recognize and find out how you can clear it. Treating yourself with some kid gloves. And I'm not saying don't be stern, don't stand up, don't be an adult about the situation, but trashing yourself is not going to be a productive thing to do. So get in good with yourself. I had to take my journey looking at myself in the mirror. I read a book by Kamal Ravikant. It's Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It. I'm telling you what worked for me in the context of this podcast. So I read that book, and one of the exercises was I had to face myself in the mirror and tell myself that I loved myself, which I figured out at that point I had an issue with. And I practiced that. And once I got square with that person I saw in the mirror, then things started to change for me inside, which led to changes outside. Don't scoff at personal development books or quote unquote self-help books. Don't scoff at them. Not all of them will work for you. And that makes sense because we're all different. But read. Figure out how you can better take care of you, better grow you. Bloom into that flower that we know you can grow into. You can't grow a flower if you got a rubber band around the bud. You tie up the bud and expect it to bloom. It's not going to happen. Use a journal. Start taking a journal. I deal with my clients. I ask them to start journaling. Because journaling, one, it puts your ideas, thoughts, and feelings on paper, so your head won't have to hold it, because we got a lot of things running through our minds. Journaling kind of helps you create a timeline for your growth. Create something that you can go back and look at and help you celebrate your growth after you realize it. And it's okay to journal. It's okay for adults to journal. It really is. It's helpful. Look into it. Finally, just work on being better tomorrow than you were today. And that would implant these habits that you need to always be on an upward trajectory, no matter what degree it is. It doesn't have to be at a 45-degree angle. It doesn't have to be bigger than that, 70, 80. If that happens, then that's cool. A 1 degree change over time curves up and to the right. That's where we got to go. So work on being better tomorrow than you were today. Be better than you. Don't look at everybody else and compare yourself to everyone else that's doing their own thing on their own journey. That's a mistake I used to make. That's a mistake I used to make all the time. Comparing myself against 25, 30, 40, 50 different people who are on different journeys, who are at different stages of development, who are got different resources. Compare yourself to you last week. Compare yourself to you yesterday. Compare yourself to you last year. Be your own unit of measure. And that'll make it a lot easier for you to attend the university of you. You're going to be the only student on campus most of the time. Make your classes count. All right. I wish you guys the best of luck. We will touch on this subject again. I actually like this, the University of You. It kind of, for me, it frames how we should approach growing ourselves, even if we're late 20s, middle-aged, or whatever. Keep growing. All right, so going to wrap that up. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. If you guys are on any platform, just subscribe, please. Leave comments. Leave a like. If there's anything you want to engage me about, I always leave a link. I know people don't leave voicemails, but I have a voicemail link on the Anchor platform. And you can also hit me up at ZETWIL88 on Instagram. I have that page just dedicated to the podcast, myself, and pictures and stuff that I post up there. Also, you can hit me up at giftedandInsane@gmail.com. That's giftedandInsane@gmail.com. Okay? You guys take care. Hope everything is well with you. This is Marzette signing off on another episode of The Gifted and Insane. You guys take care. Peace.